Have you ever felt like the world is much more than what we see? As if hidden secrets are waiting to be uncovered? From ancient mysteries buried beneath the ground to inexplicable phenomena that defy logic, today we'll dive into real stories that have challenged scientists, historians, and even the most skeptical minds. Get ready, because by the end of this video, you'll never see the world the same way again. The story of Atlantis, mentioned by Plato more than 2,000 years ago, continues to captivate generations as one of humanity's greatest mysteries. Described as a powerful and highly advanced civilization, Atlantis was a prosperous empire with technologies and knowledge far beyond what we can imagine for its time. According to Plato, the city was located beyond the Pillars of Hercules, often interpreted as the Strait of Gibraltar, and was destroyed in a single day by a devastating cataclysm. Since then, scholars, scientists, and explorers have debated, was Atlantis merely a metaphor created by Plato to illustrate the dangers of arrogance and moral decay, or could there be a kernel of truth behind the myth? Theories about Atlantis's possible location span the globe. Some believe it lies submerged in the Atlantic Ocean, others suggest its ruins might be near the Canary Islands or Azores, while some point to the Mediterranean, associating Atlantis with the destruction of the Minoan civilization in Santorini, caused by a catastrophic volcanic eruption. More recently, technological advancements have enabled the use of satellite imagery and sonar to map ocean floors, revealing submerged structures that have raised suspicions. The so-called Bimini Road in the Bahamas is one such discovery. Formed by large stones aligned like an artificial road, it has been considered by some as a remnant of Atlantis, while skeptics classify it as a natural formation. Similarly, submerged ruins off the coast of Cuba and enigmatic structures near Japan continue to fuel the debate. The idea that Atlantis represented a highly advanced civilization goes beyond popular imagination. Many theorists suggest that Atlantean technology might have included energy sources based on crystals or even technologies related to air travel. These speculations challenge the traditional view of history and suggest that humanity may have reached much higher levels of development before a catastrophic event reset the course of civilization. Plato described Atlantis as incredibly rich in natural resources, with a social and political organization combining military strength with a profound sense of culture and wisdom. However, according to the narrative, it was their unchecked ambition that ultimately attracted divine wrath, resulting in their destruction. Another intriguing point is that many myths from different cultures speak of lost civilizations or sunken cities. The Mayans had legends of cities swallowed by the waters. In India, the myth of Kumari Kandam tells of a vast land now lost in the Indian Ocean, and the Polynesians speak of Lemuria, another supposed civilization that mysteriously vanished. This connection between various cultures raises a fascinating question: could the story of Atlantis actually be a collective memory of a global event, such as a great flood or catastrophic climate changes? Modern science points to periods of glacial transitions and drastic sea level changes that could have submerged vast inhabited areas. Meanwhile, the theory that survivors of Atlantis spread across the world, bringing advanced knowledge with them, continues to gain popularity. Some claim these survivors influenced civilizations like the Egyptians, Mayans, and even the Sumerians, explaining intriguing similarities in their architecture, mythologies, and technological advancements. On the other hand, some suggest that the secrets of Atlantis were never completely lost and are kept hidden in secret libraries or archives controlled by governments or organizations with an interest in keeping such information from the public. This even includes conspiracy theories involving the church, secret societies, and military agencies. The search for Atlantis is not just physical but also symbolic. It represents humanity's desire to uncover the past, understand our present, and predict our future. If Atlantis truly existed, it might prove that history is not linear but cyclical. Civilizations rise, reach their peak, and eventually collapse. If that's the case, are we doomed to repeat the same mistakes? Or can the lessons of Atlantis help us avoid the same fate? For now, the deep waters where the city might be hidden keep their secrets, but our curiosity and determination to uncover them remain as intense as ever. After all, is Atlantis just a myth or a truth waiting to be discovered? Over the past few decades, reports of mysterious sounds emanating from the sky have intrigued and often frightened people around the world. Known as the hum or simply apocalyptic sounds, these noises range from low, continuous humming to metallic booms and reverberations that seem to originate somewhere between the atmosphere and the depths of the earth. Curiously, these sounds are not isolated to one region. They have been heard in densely populated cities and rural areas alike, from the United States to Europe, Asia, and South America. But the real question is, what causes them? And why don't we have a definitive explanation yet? While science has explored several possibilities, the phenomenon remains shrouded in mystery, fueling theories ranging from natural explanations to messages from other dimensions or extraterrestrial civilizations. Among the most popular scientific explanations is the hypothesis that these sounds could be caused by tectonic plate movements or underground geological activity. The noises might result from amplified vibrations caused by shifts in the Earth's crust, propagating through the atmosphere. However, this theory does not explain why the sounds sometimes seem to originate directly from the sky, often far from geologically active areas. Another possible natural cause is the wind passing through specific geographic formations, such as mountains and canyons, creating a resonance effect. But this explanation also has flaws, especially since the sounds have been recorded in flat regions where such conditions do not exist. Even more intriguingly, they are often heard by only a few individuals in an area, while others nearby perceive nothing. In addition to geological hypotheses, there are theories pointing to human causes. Secret military experiments, such as tests with sonic weapons or experimental aircraft, top the list for skeptics. Governments worldwide are known to invest heavily in advanced defense technologies, and it's not unimaginable that some of these tests could generate sounds that escape to the public. Others believe the noises may be related to large-scale industrial activities, such as drilling or underground construction projects. However, the lack of consistent patterns or official explanations makes these ideas equally frustrating. But it's in the more daring theories that the mystery of apocalyptic sounds truly takes on a life of its own. Many believe these sounds are signals from other dimensions or messages sent by extraterrestrial intelligences. The idea is that advanced civilizations might be trying to communicate with us using frequencies or methods that only some individuals are capable of perceiving. Another fascinating interpretation suggests these noises could be the Earth itself speaking, vibrations generated by cosmic phenomena or the planet's interaction with space. Gravitational waves, recently detected, are an example of invisible forces that could theoretically produce resonances we perceive as mysterious sounds. While science has yet to find concrete evidence for this hypothesis, the existence of still unknown cosmic phenomena leaves the door open to surprising possibilities. Even more intriguing is the psychological impact these sounds have on people who hear them. Reports of physical discomfort, such as headaches, nausea, and feelings of anxiety, are common. This has led some researchers to explore the possibility that these sounds operate at specific frequencies capable of directly affecting the human brain. If true, we could be dealing with something that not only challenges our scientific understanding but also raises questions about how sound influences human perception and behavior. Finally, one of the most controversial theories suggests these sounds are connected to imminent global changes, a kind of alarm emitted by the planet itself to warn of climatic, geological, or energetic transformations. Some proponents of this theory believe that Earth is a living organism and that these sounds are manifestations of its state of health. Others, even more speculative, see the noises as preludes to apocalyptic events, tied to ancient prophecies about the end of times. Regardless of their cause, the mystery of sky sounds continues to capture our imagination and challenge us to confront the unknown. Could they be simple natural phenomena we have yet to understand? Hidden human experiments? Or messages we are not yet capable of deciphering? Until we find answers, the mysterious sounds of Earth will remain an unsettling reminder that our world is filled with enigmas waiting to be uncovered. The idea that hidden messages exist within the sacred words of the Bible has intrigued scholars, mathematicians, and conspiracy theorists for decades. Known as the Bible Code, this concept suggests that the sacred text contains encrypted messages that can only be revealed through complex mathematical patterns and algorithms. The theory gained prominence in the 1990s when researchers used computers to analyze the original Hebrew text of the Old Testament. They claimed to find patterns predicting historical events, such as the rise of leaders, wars, and even technological advancements. But is the Bible code real, or is it merely a mathematical coincidence amplified by humanity's search for meaning? And if it is real, who left these messages and why? The most common method used to identify these messages is known as equidistant letter sequences, ELS. In this process, the Bible's text is converted into a single sequence of letters, eliminating spaces and punctuation. Patterns are then identified by skipping a fixed number of letters to form words or phrases. Some astonishing examples suggest that names like Hitler, Kennedy, and even Twin Towers were encoded thousands of years before the related events occurred. Even more intriguing, these words often appear alongside others that contextualize the events, such as war, assassination, or air attack. These findings have led some to believe that the Bible is not just a religious text but a divine database encoded with humanity's destiny. Proponents of the Bible code argue that these patterns are not coincidences. They believe that a higher intelligence, God, angels, or some cosmic entity embedded these messages as a way to guide or warn humanity. This idea contrasts with the traditional view that the Bible was written by human authors inspired by God but without the intention of hiding such elaborate secrets. On the other hand, critics argue that the search for patterns can be explained by a phenomenon called pareidolia, where the human mind finds meaning in random patterns. Additionally, similar algorithms apply to other texts, such as Tolstoy's War and Peace, have also revealed hidden messages, raising doubts about the exclusivity of these codes to the Bible. Another fascinating question is the purpose of these messages. If the Bible code does exist, why was it designed to be so difficult to decipher? One theory suggests that the codes are not meant for everyone but are intended for specific individuals or moments of global crisis when humanity is ready to understand and act upon the messages. This raises profound implications about our existence. Are we living a predetermined script? And if so, do we have the power to change what is foretold? The answers remain elusive, but the mystery continues to fuel debates among theologians, scientists, and skeptics. Furthermore, the possibility that the Bible code may contain undiscovered information is an intriguing idea. Some speculate that it might hide advanced scientific formulas, instructions for technologies we have yet to comprehend, or even a key to unlocking lost universal knowledge. Others believe the code could be a tool for predicting the future but that its use is limited by humanity's current level of technological understanding. What if the answers to humanity's greatest questions, like the origin of life, the existence of God, or the purpose of the universe, are hidden within these messages? The Bible code is not merely a theoretical mystery, it has had real-world impacts, influencing the faith of many and even prompting political actions. Religious and political leaders, in times of crisis, have sought answers in the sacred texts, while conspiracy theorists continue to explore the code in search of evidence of future events. However, the danger of this mystery lies in interpretation. Messages can be manipulated, taken out of context, or used to justify extreme actions. This is where the debate becomes most urgent. Should the search for the Bible code be a scientific, philosophical, or spiritual endeavor? In the end, the most fascinating question about the Bible code is not whether it exists but what it reveals about ourselves. Our search for patterns, for answers, and for a greater meaning demonstrates a deep human need to understand the inexplicable. If the Bible does contain a code, perhaps its purpose is not to provide definitive answers but to invite us to question, explore, and challenge the limits of what we know about faith, science, and the universe. Either way, the Bible code remains a window into the unknown, challenging our minds and inspiring our imagination. Are we dealing with a secret left by God, or a reflection of our own curiosity? We may never know, but the journey to discover it is as mysterious as the code itself. In the heart of the Chihuahua Desert in Mexico lies a place shrouded in mystery, known as the Zone of Silence. This remote stretch of land, spanning parts of the states of Durango, Chihuahua, and Coahuila, earned its name due to an unexplained phenomenon that causes radio signals, communication waves, and even compasses to malfunction upon entering the area. Often compared to the Bermuda Triangle, the Zone of Silence has drawn scientists, adventurers, and conspiracy theorists alike, intrigued by its strange occurrences and supposed anomalous properties. But what exactly is happening in this isolated location? Is the Zone of Silence a rare natural phenomenon or something far beyond our scientific understanding? The origins of this mystery date back to 1970 when a U.S. test missile, the Athena, launched from Utah, inexplicably veered off course and crashed into the Zone of Silence. This incident caught the attention of scientists, who, upon investigating the area, noticed strange behaviors in electronic equipment and measurement instruments. Since then, reports of inexplicable phenomena have emerged, including malfunctioning radios and compasses, difficulties in maintaining satellite communications, and a kind of blocking of transmission waves. Some experts have suggested that these interruptions could be caused by high levels of magnetic deposits in the soil, which interfere with signals. However, others argue that there is insufficient evidence to support this explanation, leaving the mystery unresolved. Beyond technological malfunctions, the Zone of Silence is a hotspot for bizarre sightings and stories that defy logic. Locals and visitors have reported strange lights in the sky, often described as luminous orbs moving irregularly or disappearing abruptly. Some claim to have seen UFOs hovering above the region, while others recount encounters with mysterious humanoid figures, dressed unusually and vanishing without a trace. These accounts have fueled theories that the Zone of Silence might be a point of contact with extraterrestrial intelligence or even a portal to another dimension. The unique geography of the region also raises intriguing questions. The Zone of Silence lies along a latitude line that aligns with other areas known for their mysterious characteristics, such as the Bermuda Triangle and the Pyramids of Giza in Egypt. This coincidence has led some theorists to speculate that the region could be connected to a global network of energy or magnetism influencing supernatural events. There is also the suggestion that the area is under the influence of a cosmic phenomenon, such as radiation or charged particles from space, affecting the environment in ways we do not yet understand. Another fascinating aspect is the fossils and meteorites found in the region. The Zone of Silence is rich in fossilized remains of marine creatures, indicating that it was once the bed of an ancient sea millions of years ago. Additionally, it is known for attracting an unusual number of meteorites, leading to theories that a specific gravitational force might be drawing these objects from space. Some researchers believe that minerals present in the meteorites could be responsible for some of the area's unusual magnetic properties. Others suggest that the concentration of meteorites may have altered the composition of the soil over time, contributing to the unexplained phenomena. Local residents have their own stories about the Zone of Silence, many of which blend folklore with personal experiences. Some families recount generations of encounters with mysterious lights and inexplicable sounds echoing at night. There are also reports that certain areas of the zone possess healing properties or a special energy that attracts people seeking spiritual answers. Interestingly, tourism in the region has grown in recent years, with visitors drawn by the mystery and the desolate beauty of the desert. Despite scientific efforts to study the Zone of Silence, many questions remain unanswered. Could it be merely a combination of rare natural phenomena, such as magnetic minerals and unique geographic features? Or are we dealing with something much deeper, perhaps involving forces we cannot yet comprehend? The mystery of the Zone of Silence reminds us how much there is still to discover about our planet and the universe around us. While the answers continue to elude us, the Zone of Silence remains a symbol of the unknown, a place where the unexplainable meets the imagination, challenging our notions of science, reality, and mystery. Hidden beneath nearly 4 kilometers of Antarctic ice lies one of the greatest enigmas of our planet, Lake Vostok. This subterranean lake, isolated from the rest of the world for over 15 million years, has captivated scientists and fueled theories ranging from groundbreaking scientific discoveries to stories worthy of science fiction. Stretching approximately 250 kilometers in length and 50 kilometers in width, Lake Vostok is the largest of roughly 400 subglacial lakes discovered in Antarctica. But what makes it especially fascinating is that it has been completely cut off from the atmosphere and sunlight for millions of years, creating a unique ecosystem that could hold clues not only to Earth's past but also to the possibility of life on other planets. The discovery of Lake Vostok was confirmed in the 1990s, thanks to radar surveys conducted by Russian and British scientists. Since then, it has been the focus of intense research. Scientists believe the lake's water remains liquid due to geothermal heat emanating from the Earth's core and the immense pressure of the ice above it. This closed and isolated environment acts as a time capsule, potentially harboring life forms that have evolved independently from the rest of the planet. In 2012, a team of Russian scientists successfully drilled through the ice to collect samples from the lake. These samples revealed microorganisms previously unknown to science, organisms adapted to extreme conditions of darkness, cold, and lack of nutrients. Their discovery showcases the resilience of life and suggests that similar organisms might thrive in hostile environments elsewhere in the universe, such as on Europa, Jupiter's icy moon. However, Lake Vostok is not without controversy. The drilling methods used to access the lake have raised concerns among scientists worldwide, who worry that modern contaminants may have been introduced into its pristine ecosystem, potentially compromising the purity of any discoveries. Additionally, the lake's location in East Antarctica, a remote region under strict international regulation, poses logistical and political challenges. Antarctica is protected by international treaties that limit activities that could cause environmental harm, making exploration of the lake a sensitive topic requiring a careful balance between scientific progress and environmental preservation. The discoveries made so far at Lake Vostok raise a disquieting question: what else might be hidden there? Some of the more daring theories suggest that the lake could harbor traces of complex life forms, such as larger creatures that have survived and evolved over millions of years in this unique environment. Others speculate that ancient civilizations, now long extinct, might have left artifacts or traces along the lake's shores before it was entombed by ice. For conspiracy theorists, Lake Vostok is even rumored to house a subterranean base for extraterrestrial civilizations or to conceal secrets that governments would rather keep hidden. The fact that the site is primarily controlled by a Russian team and that limited public information about their findings is available only heightens the fascination and speculation surrounding it. Lake Vostok's significance extends beyond Antarctica. It is seen as an analogy for extraterrestrial environments that may also have vast oceans concealed beneath layers of ice, such as Europa and Enceladus, the moons of Jupiter and Saturn. Scientists believe that studying Lake Vostok could prepare us for future space missions in search of life beyond Earth. If life can survive and thrive in such extreme conditions on Earth, it significantly increases the likelihood of finding life in similar conditions elsewhere in the cosmos. Beyond the science, the mystery of Lake Vostok captures the imagination. It forces us to reflect on how much we still don't know about our own planet. Are we merely scratching the surface of a vast ocean of secrets buried beneath Antarctica's ice? And what if Lake Vostok is not just a haven for primitive organisms but the key to understanding fundamental aspects of the origin and resilience of life? With every new discovery, more questions arise, keeping Lake Vostok one of the most compelling unexplored mysteries of our planet. Until we can fully uncover its secrets, it will remain a poignant reminder that, no matter how mapped and studied the world seems, it still holds profound enigmas waiting for courageous explorers and curious minds to reveal them. The Philadelphia experiment remains one of the most intriguing and controversial cases in modern history, involving alleged military tests conducted by the United States during World War II. According to reports, in October 1943, the U.S. Navy supposedly carried out a top-secret experiment at the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard, aiming to make the USS Eldridge, a naval destroyer, invisible to enemy radar. However, rumors suggest that the scientists involved, allegedly led by none other than Albert Einstein with his work on the unified field theory, went far beyond their initial goal. Witnesses claim that the experiment not only rendered the ship invisible but also transported it through time and space, creating one of history's greatest mysteries. While often dismissed as conspiracy theory, the Philadelphia experiment challenges our understanding of physics and begs the question: how far has science really advanced, and why might such secrets be hidden? The basis of this story lies in the manipulation of intense electromagnetic fields. The goal was to create a powerful field around the USS Eldridge that would bend light and radar waves, rendering the ship invisible. According to accounts, during the experiment, the ship was engulfed in a green mist and completely vanished from sight for several minutes. When it reappeared, something terrifying had happened. Some crew members were reportedly severely injured, others disappeared altogether, and there were bizarre claims that some sailors had been fused to the ship's metal structure, as though their bodies had been partially absorbed by the ship itself. This macabre description gave rise to theories that the experiment altered the molecular state of those involved, causing catastrophic side effects. The most fascinating and frightening aspect of the Philadelphia experiment is the claim that the ship did not merely disappear but was teleported to another location and possibly another time. Some reports suggest that the USS Eldridge briefly appeared in Norfolk, Virginia, hundreds of miles away, before returning to Philadelphia. Even more sensational versions claim the ship traveled through time, either into the future or the past, before being pulled back. If these accounts are true, the experiment may have opened doors to technologies that defy everything we know about the laws of physics. However, official explanations and available documents tell a very different story. The U.S. Navy has repeatedly denied that any such experiment ever took place, and many scientists dismiss the idea of creating electromagnetic fields powerful enough to achieve such effects with the technology available at the time. Despite this, contradictions and gaps in official accounts have raised suspicions among believers. They argue that the experiments were covered up to protect military secrets or because the results were too dangerous to reveal to the public. The most detailed account of the Philadelphia experiment came from Carl Allen, also known as Carlos Miguel Allende, who claimed to have witnessed the events and wrote letters describing the experiment in great detail. While his claims have been widely discredited due to a lack of evidence, the richness of detail and consistency in his stories continue to intrigue enthusiasts. Additionally, the supposed involvement of Albert Einstein, although never proven, links the experiment to the unified field theory, a concept still not fully explored by modern science but one that could, in theory, explain phenomena like teleportation and time manipulation. Another factor fueling the mystery is the historical context in which the Philadelphia experiment supposedly took place. During World War II, the great powers were desperate for any technological edge that could change the course of the conflict. Projects like the Manhattan Project, which developed the first nuclear weapons, show the lengths governments were willing to go for military superiority. In this light, the idea of daring experiments like the Philadelphia experiment does not seem entirely implausible. The question remains, if the experiment did occur, why were its results kept secret? And what might they mean for the future of science? Theories surrounding the Philadelphia experiment also intertwine with concepts of quantum physics and time travel. Many believe that if the story is true, it could serve as evidence that humanity has already mastered or at least glimpsed technologies capable of manipulating spacetime. This idea is both fascinating and terrifying, as it raises ethical implications about how such technologies could be used. If a single experiment had such catastrophic results, what could happen if these concepts were applied on a larger scale? While many dismiss the Philadelphia experiment as a hoax or an exaggerated tale, it continues to capture the imagination of people around the world. Whether it represents an example of hidden scientific advancement, a catastrophic accident, or simply a well-crafted conspiracy theory, the experiment invites us to ponder the boundaries of human knowledge. What else might be hidden in government archives? And what are we willing to uncover, even if it challenges our understanding of the universe? Until more evidence comes to light, the Philadelphia experiment will remain one of modern history's greatest unresolved mysteries, a whisper of what the future of science might hold, hidden in the shadows of the past.